This episode is brought to you by Kia's first 3-row all-electric SUV, the Kia EV9, with available all-wheel drive and seating for up to 7 adults, with a 0 to 60 speed that thrills you 1 minute, and available reclining lounge seats that unwind you the next. Visit kia.com/EV9 to learn more. Ask your Kia dealer for availability. No system, no matter how advanced, can compensate for all driver error and or driving conditions. Always drive safely.
Alright, what's up guys? Welcome to another episode of the TMossBoss show. In today's episode, I wanted to talk on when people cry wolf. And pretty much for those that don't understand what I'll be talking about in this episode, pretty much, to simplify it for people that post on social media like they dealing with stuff, they going through stuff, but then they don't want no help. And I'm like, fam, you obviously need somebody to talk to, or you need to hear something that can help you out. Cause seriously, that stuff genuinely scares me. I had to say one of the earliest times I remember, cause for those that know me, I'm always reaching out, trying to make sure my close and loved ones is all right. And there's I remember one of the earliest times, and after that, I don't even talk with that person anymore. But anyways, I remember she was posting some stuff on Twitter, and I messaged her and I asked her, is everything okay? And she was just wasn't really being descriptive with what she was saying and stuff. But it was the one thing I do remember was the last thing that she sent me, and it had me so scared and so worried. It was pretty much her, it was her in a way telling me and the world goodbye. It came off as yo, something bad is about to happen. And that stuff genuinely scared me. And I was I remember I really couldn't sleep that night. I couldn't I hear stories of that a lot. At the end of the day, I don't know everybody. I'm not living with everybody. I don't know what's going on with them. I don't know what problems you're dealing with, or what stress is weighing on you and stuff. But I try to at least be able to if I'm pushing out content and I'm entertaining people by that, or if I'm just reaching out, that's one of the main reasons why I try to separate myself or step away from doing a bunch of sad podcast episodes and so, because I'm hey yo, I'm trying to help people. I'm trying to have some sort of entertainment or something that a person can just listen to and then they just feel content. But I'm telling you, man, that stuff, it puts legitimate fear in my eyes when I see people posting about things, and I'm fam, and it'll be from the smallest stuff to the biggest stuff. I'm I do not care. I don't take any chances. I don't know what is your breaking point or at the start of it. I try to be there for the whole portion. I try to be there for the start of it, the middle part, the breaking point. I try to be there for all of it so I can let a person know, hey, if you need help, if you need somebody to talk to, if you need advice, if you need any of that, I'm here for you, because I hear stories of that so much where it's you will hear about a person, they deal with some stuff and they're just all silent about it. They don't tell nobody about it. Next thing you know, you done heard something bad done happened to them. And it's I really don't want to get in, and describe what it is or say it and stuff. But I think everybody can get the hint in the message, but, or more so the hint, no message, but it's just one of those things where I'm doing this episode to let people know, hey, if it's some stuff that you can keep to yourself, please keep it to yourself. Cause recently I found myself where it's I'll see people, going through some stuff, and I'll message them and I'm seeing if they all right, at the end of the day, I'm hey, whatever it is that I'm doing, I could push that stuff off to the side. Only thing that I'm really doing throughout the day is content creating. So I'm content creating can wait. I could come up with some stuff for the, for the day, post it, go about my business, or, see what's going on in their life. But I found myself where it's it's happened to me with a lot of people. And now I'm kind of at a crossroad where it's do I want to continue messaging people and seeing if they're all right? or, you know, waiting until they message me or what, or just like ignoring all people. And I'm like, I really don't want to do that. I really don't want to be that person. But it's kind of like frustrating when you see somebody go through some stuff and you message them and it's all like, hey, is everything all right? And then it's just no respond. And I'm like, but then they're posting on social media and posting. And I'm like, is this something that I did? Am I the person in the wrong? Like, what's going on here? But no, like, I see people do that, and that gets me to a point where it's like, okay, next time they mess, or they dealing with some stuff, and they're all like, because I'm like, I'm gonna be sitting there contemplating, like, okay, should I message them, or should I just leave them alone, or just, you know, but then I'm like, they might really need somebody to talk to, they might really need some advice, but I'm all like, every other time when I message them, seeing if everything was all right, they just, you know, it's just ignored, seen. Like, left you on red, all this other crap. And I'm like, okay, well, you know what? Like, I try not to be a petty person. I'm trying to work on that. Like, God knows I am. I am trying my hardest. Like, that's one thing I had to say I've been working on with myself a lot is, you know, putting things behind me. Like, you know, because here's the thing. Like, I always tell people, like, don't hold grudges. You know, you just gotta let that stuff go, like, but do not hold grudges on people. You know, like, if there is at times when people need your help, or if it was somebody that you wanted to be chill with, but, you know, they holding a grudge on you, like, I try to, like, you know, think outside the box with stuff like that, but, no, I'm like, I am trying my hardest, and so I'm like, I don't know, like, a part of me is like, hey, you know what? I'm probably going to be short-answered with them if I do decide. But then it's like another part of me is like, you know, it's kind of like that angel and demon type stuff where it's like, I got something telling me to do the right thing and I got something telling me to do the wrong thing, but it sounds like the right thing. And, you know, it's crazy. It's a battle of, like, you know, worlds and stuff. And I'm like, man, like, I just wish I just was like, wasn't, it's at times I just wish I wasn't even on social media. Like, social media is just so stressful at this point where you got apps that don't work, people that post on apps and you don't know what's going on. You got where, like, it's just, social media is just the same stuff, like, every day. So I guess that would be my advice to people out there. It's like, if you dealing with stuff, don't run to social media. You know, like, handle that stuff the old-fashioned way. Handle that stuff like in the 1800s. Get a diary. Like, get you some of them, you know, them freaking, what mechanical pencils or something that we used to get back in school. Get you a journal and just write. Just freaking write. I'll never forget. I remember I met this girl in high school and she had, like, freaking paper. I thought she was doing homework. I look over at her. She was sitting there writing. She said she was just writing down everything in her head. And I'm all like, dang, you got a lot going on. And I'm like, bro, and even, like, but she found that funny, though. Cause I'm all like, I'm saying this girl got, like, 3-4 pages. I'm all like, dang, what you doing? Filing taxes in high school? I'm like, that don't make no sense why you got... But, no, I'm like, man, it's like, but I'm saying, like, that's what people, you know, need to do. I'm like, but you run the social media, there's gonna be people that is worried. You know, I'm doing this episode, it's like, you know, to just overall tell people, it's all like, hey, if you're gonna be on posts on social media, if you're dealing with some stuff, be prepared, you know, for people reaching out. And then that's another thing where it's like, what crosses my mind is like, well, what if you know, there's been at times where, like, people just don't help them. You know, I'm like, fam, I tell people that all the time. I'm all like, hey, if what I say, like, because that's another thing where it's like, I don't like arguing. If I'm trying to help somebody, I don't like the whole arguing part of trying to help somebody. I throw haymakers. You know, when I'm trying to help a person, I tell them something. I'm like, hey, this is life advice that can work for everything possible. You know, but at times, like, I do find myself where I'll be, like, trying to help somebody. And so, yeah, they are crying wolf. And then I try to help them, and then they're all like, "Oh, I don't need help," like, or this isn't working. I'm like, "Well, have you tried it?" I'm like, "Have you thought about trying it? Just try it. That's all you gotta do. Try it. If it don't work, then you prove me wrong. But I'm just saying, if you try it, then it's like, fam, this is something that I would do. You know, I ain't gonna tell you something to do, but it's like I wouldn't do it myself. You know, like it's stuff like that where it's like, fam, come on now, but." No, it wasn't even too long ago where there was somebody, you know, I ain't gonna say when or where, but there was somebody, you know, and they had, they overall was like, had some stuff that was going on in their life. I was trying my hardest to help them, and I tried telling them a story about my own personal life, and it seemed like nothing was working. I got so frustrated. I was like, fam, forget it. I don't even care no more. You can live your life doing whatever you want to do. Do not ask me for no help. And that's the thing where it's like, I hate being in that mindset. I hate it so much because I'm like, I don't want to be that person, but I'm like, fam, if this is literally every time when I try to help you on something, it always leads into an argument, do not come here seeking help. I'm all like, at this point, I'm like, fam, are you, like, am I a punching bag? Like, is this practice for when you get into a major argument? Like, get out of here with that. Skedaddle. I'm saying, like, I don't need to hear all that no more. It's annoying. It's super annoying when I have to, like, okay, like I'm trying to tell you stuff without getting hostile, but I think there was another time when that person, they were asking me, I was being short answered with them, because I'm like, nah, it's like every time when I try to help you, you always turn it into an argument. So don't expect no, like, long thought out 5-sentence paragraph with, full sentences and all that, and treating it like it's some, like, school test. I'm like, nah, don't expect all that from me. I'm giving you short answers. I'm like, oh, I've been dealing with this. Probably had to, like, go and on social media, or not social media, but read the article. I'm all like, but freaking, I'm like, well, this is what I did. If it works, cool. If it doesn't, I don't know what to tell you. I'm all like, so I just leave it at that. I'm like, oh, or just be like, oh, dang, that's crazy. Like, I give them short answers, because I'm like, look, every time, because my thing is this. It's one thing if I go to you and I try to help you and you don't want help. Okay, I get it. I understand. But if you're coming to me for help, if you are telling me about something and I try helping you, I'm like, fam, I don't get, like, why would you even, because no, like, actually, you know what, no, there, an example I can use, really don't like, using people I don't really, like, that I'm not chilled with or talking to and stuff, but it was that racist guy that I was telling you about on Twitch not too long ago, but there was a time where I remember he always would join my stream talking on some stuff, and I'm like, bro, try this. If it don't work, then dang, try something else. Like, think for yourself. Like, but I'm saying, you're trying to use my brain to think for you. It's like, nah, think for yourself. But anyway, so there was a time where I remember he joined my stream talking. Overall, like, my thing was, like, I'm like, fam, you're being disrespectful to your mom. Like, if your mom asked you not to do something, listen. Like, that's what a kid, or overall, like, somebody, the children of that parent, that's what they would do. It don't matter on what age you are, but I'm just saying, like, you just have that respect for your parent. Like, my thing is this. And so, all right, so the situation was, he was cussing in front of his mom. His mom told him not to. They got into some argument about it, I guess. For some odd reason, he decided, oh, let me run to TMossBoss's stream, tell him about it, and see how he feels. And I'm like, I don't know, maybe he was expecting me to agree with him, but I'm like, bro, my parents curse in front of me. They curse in front, like, it might not be all the time, but it's a common thing for them to curse in front of me. I do not curse in front of them. I don't. Not even if I'm like telling a story, I'm all like, oh man, it was crazy. These two people got the car. They were fighting. They were cursing at each other. We're like, oh, what did they say? I'm like, oh, well, dude looked at the other guy. He said, F you. Then he said, nah, F you. Then he was all like, nah, I got something for you. Pulled his hand out his pocket. It was a middle finger. I don't even do that. I don't even like, I just stick my fist off up in the air and just, like not improvise, but just make it seem like that fantasy, like pretending, it's pretend. But anyways, I'm saying, like, I have that respect for my parents. I have that respect literally for everybody around me, where it's like, if they don't, do the whole cussing, there's even a streamer. There's a streamer that I follow, and she's like that. And I'm all like, I respect people and their boundaries on that stuff. I'm not gonna curse in front of them and stuff. But anyways, but no, he was going off about that. And I was all like, bro, just don't curse in front of your mom. It's like, I'm saying, it's like, she don't want you to do that. It's like, listen to your mom. Then he was like arguing with me about it. And I'm all like, bro, I ain't got time for this. I think I was playing, I even remember what game I was playing. I was playing the car mechanic simulator. And I was like, man, I ain't got time for this. I'm just going to continue on building this car and stuff. But I'm saying, like, it was like on a regular basis with him. Like, I can possibly think of some other stuff that he came to my stream crying about. And it's like, bro, try this. If it doesn't work, then stop bringing it up. Like I'm saying, like there was a time though where he kept bringing up a friend, I guess, that was still in, and I'm like, have you tried talking with them? And then he's like coming up with everything that didn't work, or this ain't working, that won't work, or that won't work. I'm like, okay. Then he tried bringing them up another time on a different occasion. I'm like, hey, you talked on this guy, don't talk on him no more. It's like, you don't even know dude like that, where it's all like, you just talking about him behind his back. It's like, nah, get out of here. He's like, well, he's not watching the stream. I don't care. Still, don't talk about him. It's like, man, get out of here with that. I ain't trying to get into no. I'm trying to play a video game and stuff. So, but anyways, at the end of the day, moral of the story, it's like, if you're crying wolf and people come to help you, don't turn them away. Don't be like, oh, this ain't working. Listen to them. That's how communication works. When you're communicating with a person, it's a both way thing. So it's like, if you tell them something, it ain't supposed to turn into an argument. It ain't supposed to turn it, like, listen to what that person has to say. Don't ignore them. Don't, listen to what that person has to say. Like, a person's visibly or obviously trying to help you, so accept that. And it's like, if you don't need their help, then it's like, okay, then it's like, tell them that. If it's a situation where they ran to you, all right, so here's what it is. All right, then after that, I'm done. If it's a situation where they ran to you to help you out, tell them, I don't need no help. I am fine. All right. If they do not think that you are fine and they keep trying to help, accept that help, okay? And if it's a situation where you run to them for help, but you ain't trying to communicate, don't do that. Don't even disturb that person's brain like that, because that person will overthink. They will not stop thinking, probably won't get no sleep at night, and they will be just straight flipping out until they figure out what is going on. So don't do that to a person, because that is just mad, like, just, difficult on a person's brain and stuff. Like, I'm like, my thing is, like, regardless of who they are, it's like, obviously, if that person's trying to help you, they do care about you and stuff. So, but anyways, and that being said, I will talk to you guys later. I think because I'll consider this a serious episode, so I ain't going to really do no promos and stuff, but I will talk to you guys later. Thank you guys for watching and or listening, and peace.